Hello everyone, today we're doing a transmission flush on a 2002 Chevrolet Malibu, and what we're using in the transmission is AMSOIL synthetic ATF. It's a multi-vehicle transmission fluid. It's the older formulation, Dexron 5, the new Dexron 6. We also have that for the newer vehicles, 2006 and newer. This will be using, gives you a lot cooler running temps than regular petroleum-based oil, usually by 20 to 50 degrees, flows in the cold a whole lot better and reduces the wear. Service life on it's around 100,000 miles. So we're going to be using that, and I'll show you a few tricks for doing this transmission flush, and we'll be back with you. Okay, on these transmissions, on this one it's a 4T 40E transmission. There's no dipstick tube on it. So what we're looking at here is the engine compartment, and if we go back, right here on the battery is the actual fill cap for the transmission, and it screws in, and it's actually right. You can see back the end of that black funnel. I got a black funnel in there right now, and at the end of that black funnel is where that that cap is at. It's actually kind of at the back of the air cleaner. I'll try and get you a better shot here. Okay, right in there at the end of that funnel is where it's at, and I'll move that funnel so you can kind of see it. If I can get my light in here, it's kind of a tight fit. But right in there is where you go with your funnel to fill that transmission at. So, no dipstick, but that's where you fill the transmission at. And the other thing is, over here on the transmission flush, the flush we're going to do, what we'll do is take a rag here and we'll put that underneath this line. And right here at the end of my fingers, that line, it takes a 5/8 wrench to take that line off. And what we'll do is take that line off, and what I've done is made up an adapter that'll go in place of that line, and I can take this right to a hose for my flush. And then the other hose coming off, or the other tube coming off right here that I'm taking off that radiator, we'll put a hose on that as well. So we'll have two hoses going out, so that no matter which way the direction of the fluid's flowing, it goes to the drain pan. So I'm going to show you the pan down below and where you check the level of the oil here in just a second. Okay, come underneath the front end of the car here, we'll take a look, and we got the transmission pan here. It's kind of an L-shaped pan, and what I do when I take that transmission pan down is I take them loose over on this left side here. First, take the bolts off and work my way over towards this side, and I'll leave these two bolts on the end here, and then the whole pan will tip down into this drain pan that I've got here. And you're going to get out probably about I'd say about 2 gallons of fluid when you drop that pan. So there's going to be quite a bit of the fluid come out, and then the actual transmission filter goes right up, right here on this side of the pan, kind of like I've got it set here, because I've already removed this pan and put the new filter in. So it gives you some idea about where it sits, right, like so. But this transmission is supposed to be what they call a service for life transmission, and you're not supposed to have to do anything to it. The problem with that is the fluid breaks down, and once that fluid breaks down, it doesn't take long after that and the transmission breaks down. So these are a serviceable transmission, and you're wise to service them because you can get many more serviceable miles out of them by doing a flush on them. So, and I'm going to show you where the check plug is, because there's no dipstick on this one. So I'm going to show you how to check that fluid here in a second. So we'll get back with you. Okay, I'm going to show you where the check level is for this transmission. Right there we're looking at the driver's side front wheel, and right here is the transmission pan. And if you go right up here above that edge of that transmission pan, there's a little plug right there, and that plug is a 7/16. It's actually an 1/8 inch pipe plug, but it's a 7/16 head on there, so 7/16 wrench or ratchet. And what you do is you take that plug out with the engine running and the car level, and the fluid should just come out of there, and that's actually the natural, or the where originally, if you had a dipstick, where the level would be. But it's right there, you know, right above the edge of that pan. And again, right over there is your driver's side wheel, and this is on the passenger side of that transaxles where that little plug is. So I'm going to have them go ahead and start the car. Okay, start it up. Okay, I'm going to take that plug out. With that plug out, it should just run out just like that. Put the plug back in when you're all done. tighten it up, clean up what's run down on the pan, and that's basically how you check that level. Again, the car needs to be level, and it should be up close up to temp. So right there's your check plug, engine running, and should just run out of there. So, all right, we'll get back with you. Okay, I'm going to give you another shot of that fill plug too. Right here is the funnel, and we go right down. Kind of right here is your air cleaner assembly. It's right here at the corner of that air cleaner assembly, and I don't know if we can see it real well, but I'm going to pull it out. You can look right down. You can kind of look right down there and see that that threaded hole is at. And I'm going to reach in from the front side with the fill plug and get that put back in, and that screws right in that hole. This is also a vent for the transmission as well. It's the fill and the vent. So just put it in, and it's got an O-ring fitting on, so just take it down until it's nice and snug. Basically that's where you fill it. So just to give you another shot of that, and we'll shoot it from the front here too, so you can kind of see that red. You can see that red fill cap right there. And right there is your battery, and it's right there is where it's at. So gives you a good idea where it's at. On a transmission filter, right here on this neck, this is where the oil gets sucked up through the filter and up into the transmission pump. There's a seal that goes up in the body of that transmission, and what I use is just a straight edge screwdriver, and I come in from the edge of it. You can get on this edge and you can drive it inward, and that'll loosen it up. You can pull it out with your fingers, and then just take a hammer and you can tap a new one up in nice and gently all the way around, and you can get the new seal put in. But one of the reasons that I do a transmission flush with removing the pan wherever a transmission has a pan is there's a lot of stuff that settles out through this through the years of use on that transmission, and when you do a reverse flush, a lot of this this is like worn clutch material, and you know, some real fine metal in there too from wear. But that stuff, when you do a flush without changing the transmission filter, all this load, this dirt load, gets stirred up, and it goes into the filter and helps plug the filter. But also where it really causes damage is if it gets out to your valve body, and your valve body has very tight tolerances in it. And this here is fine enough dirt to get through the filter and out to that valve body, and if it gets to your valve body, it causes it to hang up. And if the valve hangs up, you're not getting application pressure to your clutches. And if you're not getting full application pressure to your clutches, then what happens is they start smoking, they start burning, and you're having a bad day because you're burning your transmission up. So any place where I do a transmission flush where it has a pan, that pan comes off and it gets a new transmission filter. And I clean up the magnet, I clean up the pan, get all that dirt load out of the transmission so it's not a problem to the transmission down the road. So just kind of wanted to show you that, you know, all the way around this transmission pan, and also on the transmission filter itself, you get a lot of this this dirt load. And you know, that's the stuff that causes you trouble in your valve body and so on. So, but I wanted to make you aware of that so that you don't just take it to a shop and have somebody do a flush without changing the filter. So, all right. Okay, another hint for the transmission flush is the cooler line. This is basically a 3/8 fuel line that I've made. Basically, it's a double flare on here, double 45 flare, sort of like you do a brake line, except for it's a 3/8 instead of like a 3/16. And what this adapter does, it allows you to take off the line off that transmission and adapt you to a hose, or transfer it over to a hose, so that when you start it up, you can transfer the fluid to the hose down to your pan. So very easy to make, but you know, simple. Couple of items to make things go a lot simpler with the flush. So I wanted to thank you for watching my video, and have a great day, and be sure to check out my other videos as well. Thank you. Thank you for watching my YouTube video. Please check out my other videos on my YouTube page. And I want to introduce you to Amsoil's full line of synthetic lubricants. We have the most complete line of synthetics for your automotive and light truck needs, as well as heavy equipment and semis. Full line of synthetics, been around since 1972, and you can check those out at www.donsoil.com. Also, we have a page for looking up fluid capacities, and that one is fluidcapacity.com. And you can go in there and you can get all your fluid capacities of your vehicle. You can print off a list so that you've got all the capacities of your cooling system, your transmission, your engine, all those. And have a great day.